In this video, I'll talk about more about the foundational pillars of the addiction. You can think of them as a checklist. The more checks you have in this checklist, the more likely you are to watch pornography. In total, there are 7 of them. And in this video, I'll talk about 3 of them. They are anonymity, accessibility, and affordability. So let's start. When it comes to anonymity, when we are watching pornography, we seek isolation. We don't want to be seen. We want to be anonymous. The reason why I think it is because having sex and the social status are tightly connected with each other. When there is a guy who has sex with loads of women, we perceive this person with a higher social status, with a higher social value. We almost even glorify these people. And the other way around, when there is a person who, for example, is in his mid 30s or 40s, who is still a virgin, we perceive this person with a lower social status. We assign him a lower social value. We think of this person as a loser who is unable to get a real partner and therefore unable to have real sex. When you introduce to this a pornography addiction, the reason why I think we feel ashamed is because when we catch someone watching pornography, we see a person who is unable to find a real partner and prefers to go to this digital pixels to which now he's masturbating to. The person feels ashamed. Therefore, in order to avoid this shame, people go to isolation. People try to make a distance between them and the world when they are consuming pornography. That's why, for example, we turn on incognito mode. What is funny about this incognito mode, in reality, you are not really private when it comes to your information. The information are still being collected when it comes to the websites you are visiting. In other words, we are creating the knot by which we are suffocating ourselves. We are telling the websites, we are telling the creators of pornography, this is what I want, give me more of this. You think that pornography is the product, but it's not. You, the consumer, are the product. You are the main target of them. They are trying to get you to watch more and more of their content so they can make out of you the money, the attention, the energy, everything they need in order to fulfill their dreams, not yours. When it comes to the anonymity pillar, in order to break it, this is going to be hard to hear, but you have to tell it to someone. You have to find someone who you trust. I can tell you that the first time I open up about my pornography consumption to a person I trust, my ex-girlfriend, was really tough. I had this different beliefs that will I be rejected? Will she understand me? Won't I be perceived as someone who is completely crazy or even like weird? But it was only what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. In order to turn the what ifs into what is, I had to take action. So I took it. Even though I had fear, I opened up my pornography consumption, and fortunately, she accepted it. She accepted who I was and tried to help me. I think when I look back at it, it wasn't much as the understanding and empathy I received from her, as much as the ability to open up about my pornography consumption. You see, because the more I was talking, the more I realized how many false beliefs and how many these walls I've created that were blocking me from further progressing in my recovery. I believe I was addicted, but in reality, I really wasn't. It was the belief that I was trapped that was keeping me trapped. That's what I would like you to do when it comes to anonymity. Find someone who you trust. The best way is if this person is someone you can meet in person. When it works and when you will open up, you will have better awareness of what is actually real and what was actually fake. If you don't have a person or if you are really, really struggling to open up to someone, find a community online when it comes to this topic. Open up about their pornography consumption there. Find people who can understand you. Some people don't want to hear the truth because either they're not ready or because they don't want to. Find people who know the truth. Find people who know about pornography addiction and talk about it with them. When it comes to the second pillar, accessibility, it's pretty much straightforward. The easier access you have to pornography, the more likely you are to watch pornography. The harder the access to pornography, the less likely you are to watch pornography. In extreme examples, if you already have a pre-selected video just waiting for you in your pocket, in your phone to be played, then the likelihood of you watching it is very high. But if you live on a deserted island with no phone and no internet, you will never be addicted to pornography because you don't have access to it. So when it comes to the access pillar, try to create as many steps, as many barriers for you to consume pornography as possible. For example, limit your time when it comes to the device usage. Use blockers. Take that PC, take that phone, and use it on places where people are often spending time in. For example, in living room. When it comes to the last pillar of this video, which is affordability, it talks about the element of money. In the past, money used to be a barrier when it comes to watching pornography. You had to go physically to a store to buy the cassette or buy the magazine. You had to use money. Now, this is no longer a problem because now pornography is free. In order to add a paywall, a money as a source of barrier for you to watch pornography, there are two ways you can do it. You can start to pay for premium service when it comes to blocking services or blocking apps. Or the second way, if you have a person who you trust, you can create and sign a contract. In this contract, there will be two conditions. First condition states that every time when you relapse, you will give this person a certain amount of money. The second condition is if you won't consume pornography, for example, 30 days, 90 days, or 6 months, you will get your money back. After this video, remember that shared happiness doubles, shared pain divides. Just because you can resist the temptation doesn't mean you have to spend time with it. And last but not least, if the price tag is not on the money, it's on something else.